Tonight, stock market whiplash from huge losses on Christmas Eve to historic gains today. The Dow roared back with its biggest single-day point gain. We look at what caused the rally. Trump's secret mission. The president and first lady fly to Iraq for a special holiday meeting with the troops. It's the president's first ever visit to a combat zone. The death of another young migrant in U.S. custody after crossing the border, the second this month. What led to his death, and could it have been avoided? They say there's no way to defend against it. Will a new Russian nuclear weapons system ignite a new arms race? And it's the kind of story that every parent who's sacrificed for their kid will want to hear. A baseball player takes care of those who took care of him.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. I'm Kate Snow in for Lester tonight. You'd be forgiven for feeling a little financial whiplash this week. On this day after Christmas, Wall Street was celebrating. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up almost 1,100 points. That is the largest single-day point gain ever. All the more remarkable when you consider what happened on Christmas Eve, when the broader market was down almost 20% from recent highs, and people were talking about a bear market. Today's rebound driven in part by positive reports about holiday sales. Our Kristen Dahlgren starts us off tonight.
A post-Christmas bonus on Wall Street. Today's big gains completely erasing Monday's steep dive.
Wow, a dramatic rally to finish off the day.
All three indexes soaring, thanks in part to some positive news for retailers. Amazon reporting it sold a record number of items over the holiday season. It's been a volatile month, today ending a 4-day losing streak in which the markets appeared on track to clock the worst December since the Great Depression, amid concerns over the government shutdown and questions over the future of Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. Today, the administration tried to reassure investors. Top Trump advisor Kevin Hassett with NBC's Hans Nichols.
You've made it very clear that Secretary Mnuchin's job is safe. Is the Fed chairman's job safe?
Yes, of course, 100%, yes.
100%. The Fed chairman's job is not in jeopardy by this president.
Absolutely. That's correct, yes.
That was a signal that politics wasn't going to take over economic policy, and investors liked hearing that.
Fears of an impending recession eased for today.
How significant is it? That remains to be seen. When you get this kind of a snapback rally, you want to find out if it's going to be confirmed by even more rallies down the road.
Now, Kate, it's important to note that even with this rally, the market is still down double digits from its highs earlier this year. A new survey of CFOs shows half believe we will be in a recession by the end of next year. 82% by the end of 2020, Kate.
All right, Kristen Dahlgren, thank you. As the stock market was rebounding, President Trump was making a splash overseas. The president and first lady took their first trip to a combat zone, visiting with American troops in western Iraq at the Al-Assad Air Base. Chief White House correspondent Hallie Jackson has more.
A standing ovation for a milestone 2 years in the making. President Trump personally thanking troops fighting ISIS.
2 years ago, when I became president, they were a very dominant group. They were very dominant. Today, they're not so dominant anymore.
The president, signing autographs and smiling for selfies, says he has no plans at all to pull the U.S. military out of Iraq. But he defended his controversial decision to withdraw the military from neighboring Syria, a move that led his defense secretary to resign in protest.
We're no longer the suckers, folks. We're respected again as a nation. If you take ISIS, and if we see something happening with ISIS that we don't like, we can hit them so fast and so hard, they really won't know what the hell happened.
The president spent 3 hours on the ground, his movements blanketed in secrecy for security reasons.
I had concerns for the institution of the presidency. Because, not for myself personally. I had concerns for the First Lady, I will tell you. But if you would have seen what we had to go through with the darkened plane, with all windows closed, with no lights on whatsoever, anywhere.
President Trump had come under fire for waiting this long to visit troops in an active war zone.
I've had an unbelievable busy schedule, and I will be doing it.
At this point in his presidency, Barack Obama had visited combat troops in the Middle East, and George W. Bush traveled to Iraq just 8 months after the 2003 war began.
I don't think it's